Hello and good day to all viewers. My name is Evonne. I'm from the Center for Marine and Coastal Studies at University Science Malaysia. I will be presenting the study on the influence of ocean acidification on the surface alteration of microplastics. This presentation will take about 10 minutes with 5 sections. We will first start off with a little introduction on a couple of important elements of this study in the following slide. First up, ocean acidification. Nowadays, the ocean is becoming more and more acidic because it absorbs excessive carbon dioxide released by human activities to maintain the balance of the air composition in the atmosphere suitable for all organisms to use and breathe. Unfortunately, the ocean pH has dropped from 8.21 to 8.1 since Industrial Revolution in the 1950s. So it's pretty evident that ocean acidification is caused by humans. It is important to keep in mind that ocean acidification is an irreversible process. Every decrease of 0.1 unit on the pH scale means the ocean will become 10 times more acidic than it used to be, which they can be very dangerous for a lot of marine organisms, especially calcifying ones. Moving on to plastic pollution. It has been estimated about 8 million of plastics enter the ocean annually. The ocean is piling up with plastic debris because we as humans rely strongly on plastic products every day in our lives. For example, single-use plastic bottles, containers, utensils, and not to mention the mismanagement of waste on land contributes to the accumulation of plastic waste in the marine environment. The problem with plastic is that they are lightweight and buoyant, so they can enter the ocean easily through the action of wave or wind. And then, the real problem starts when these plastics drifting on water surface breaks down into microplastics. Microplastics are very small in size, which can be harmful to organisms if they accidentally consume, entering the food chain and will eventually reach human diet if we consume contaminated seafood. They can also easily release chemicals added during plastic manufacturing, and hence they are physically and ecologically problematic. Therefore, we are interested to learn whether the ocean acidification and microplastic pollution will interact with each other. The above questions then lead to the objective of our study, which is to observe the surface morphological differences of virgin microplastics when exposed to ocean acidification condition in seawater. Study, we set up glass aquariums with two different conditions. A standard condition, which reflects the current ocean pH, and an acidified one, that is the projection from Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC, where they projected that the ocean pH will drop 0.3 to 0.4 by 2100. For quality control purposes in this study, we also set up blank aquariums and prepared 3 replicates for each condition. From this setup, we then add 30 liters of filtered seawater and 20 grams of virgin microplastics into each aquarium, except the blank. The aquariums are placed outdoor for 10 days to ensure that the exposure of the external environment condition is highly similar to any plastic debris floating in the ocean. This study setup for 10 days was in reference to the guidelines prepared by the European Food Safety Authorities, whereby they stated plastics that are exposed to external conditions for 10 days and subsequently consumed or used may produce the worst foreseeable condition. So, along these 10 days, we use diluted acid or base to adjust the pH of the seawater, either using 1 normality hydrochloric acid or 1 molarity sodium hydroxide. After that, the microplastics from different exposure conditions are collected and observed under the field emission scanning electron microscope to see the surface changes of the microplastics. We will present our results and discuss them in the following slides. These two tables are the pH measurement of the seawater on day 1, day 5, and day 10 for standard condition and acidified condition. We adjusted them using acid and base and kept at the pH range plus minus 0.2 for both conditions. Over here, we present the images from the observation of microplastics using the field emission scanning electron microscope. It is obvious to see that the surface of the virgin microplastic is very smooth, with no signs of peeling, while the one in the acidified condition seems to look rougher. This implies that acidified condition may accelerate polymer aging and weakens the polymer structure at the surface layer. As we can see, the standard condition, there are also significant peeling, aging, and rather rough surface compared to the virgin microplastics. This result suggested that the current seawater condition is also capable of causing polymer aging and degradation. And if we zoom in, it is evident that the microplastic exposed to acidified condition has greater extent of damage compared to the standard condition and also in relevance to the virgin ones, with severe peeling of the polymer's outer surface. These damages are permanent, and there might be a possibility that these polymers may have lost their components, such as their monomers, additives, or preservatives, through leaching, and subsequently they enter into surrounding waters. Our microscopic results reveal that environmental conditions, such as sunlight intensity and air, are capable of causing polymer aging and surface degradation in a short period of time, which in the case of our study, that would be 10 days. This study suggested that the microplastics has undergone photodegradation mechanism, and that is why we can see the polymer surface layer peeling out, especially the one in the acidified condition. Photodegradation is the primary mechanism for polymers to break down, and it is influenced by the intensity of sunlight. The breakdown of the surface polymer barrier would further increases the vulnerability of the plastic towards chemical and biological degradation. The severe aging of microplastic in acidified condition also suggested that acidified waters may promote hydrolysis degradation of the polymers, which can in turn change its structure and alters their surface permanently. In addition, our concern of microplastics as an environmental pollutant is that the harmful chemicals added during plastic production may leach into the environment, which would further cause chemical concentration increase in the ocean, and also the greater surface area per volume ratio of small size microplastic available for chemical reaction would increases chemical leaching, which would cause ecological problems. In conclusion, this study shows that polymer degradation can occur when they are exposed to external environmental conditions. This study also interestingly reveals that plastic aging can occur in just a short span of 10 days. From the results of this study, it is possible that in the future, plastic waste may elevate chemical concentration in the marine environment because of increasing microplastic presence in the ocean. Furthermore, intensifying ocean acidification may also accelerate chemical leaching from microplastics or plastic debris floating in the marine environment. Therefore, more studies is needed to conduct to further understand the mechanism of chemical leaching from microplastics, from marine debris, and also to learn what's the interaction between ocean acidification and microplastic pollution. These are the references I used in this slide, and thank you for listening.